My delts used to look like this, kind of flat, unimpressive. Now they look a little more like this. And the reason was because I changed 4 things that I'm gonna walk you through in this video that are gonna absolutely explode your delt game. All right, number 1, this is probably gonna surprise you, but stop leading your shoulders with heavy pressing. And the reason for that is because you're gonna get so much front delt in either your chest movements or your other pressing movements. So I used to come in and do some sloppy, heavy shoulder pressing, on the machine or with dumbbells, and then spam some heavy dumbbell laterals, and my shoulders were not growing, and I did not know why. So the biggest problem was I was focusing more on the number than the stimulus. And this is something you'll see prevalent in all of my training, is you want to focus on how much stimulus you're getting in that target muscle group. And the problem with pressing is you're getting so much front delt involvement. And what really lends itself to that wider shoulder is that lateral delt. And that's really what you're missing in your pressing movements. And you guys know, if you guys are training anything like me with super big stretch on your flies, nice big stretch on your incline presses, obviously the goal is not to destroy your front delts, but you're gonna get inevitably a good amount of stimulus in your front delt. So realistically, you don't really need to make that a priority in your shoulder program, especially if it's already so prevalent in your other movements. So instead of starting with a shoulder press, what I would start is with a raise and trying to get more width with a lateral raising movement. And since that lateral delt is really what you see not only from the front, the side, but also from the back, that's what's really gonna give you that 3D look and create more width to your physique. And honestly, if you're just gonna take away one thing from this video, that one change might help you so much. But let's get into number 2. Number 2 is optimizing your actual lateral raises. So now we've stopped leading with presses and we're doing our raises first. But how do you do your raises optimally? A lot of times it's really not an effort thing. I see people like really spamming heavy lateral raises. It's more of an execution thing. And a lot of people are getting way more trap involvement than you realistically should, especially if you're trying to target lateral delts. So a lot of people with the setup, the biggest problem is they start to internally rotate and push the shoulders forward. And what that's gonna do is when you initiate your raise, you see what happens. The first thing that I do is start raising that shoulder up towards my ear. And whenever you get that shrugging motion, what do you do for traps, right? You shrug. So if you are creating more of the raise through raising your shoulders to your ears, as opposed to staying tall and actually lifting with that lateral head and kind of pouring out the teapot, as you probably heard some people say. So you want to be nice and tall here. So dropping the shoulders is gonna just literally turn it into a trap movement. And that's why it feels good to take the 60s and rip them, because it's all traps. Okay, so before you start any rep, I don't care if you're doing dumbbell, cables, machine, these are the cues I want you to follow. First, I want you to open your chest and drop your shoulders back, retract scaps. Second thing I want you to do is create a slight elbow bend. So I don't want to be completely straight at the arms. I want to create that slight elbow bend. Next thing I want to do is when I'm coming out of the bottom of the rep, I want to think hands, back of my hands straight out to the walls. I want to get wide. I don't want to go up. I want to get out. So I want to go out wide and then pushing up. And you see how I'm able to keep my shoulders down and back in that format. So we're not completely straight arms. We got that about 175 degrees. We're raising up and we're trying to get wide and try to keep those shoulders down as we raise. And that, if you use that cue on anything, like I'm telling you guys, dumbbells, cables, it's going to absolutely transform the way that you are going to feel and stimulate your lateral delts. And the biggest thing I'm gonna tell you is reduce the weight, please. Reduce it to 50%. You will thank me later. You will be able to progressively overload it from there once your form is perfected. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the modality. What machine did I use? And the biggest thing changed for me was switching over to cables. Dumbbells are great, don't get me wrong. Machines tend to be hit or miss. Cables across the board, you have them in every gym. You can set them up. You can control the vector of force. You can control the height. You can control if you're lying down and if you're standing up. Cables are terrific. You can control that moment arm where it gets heaviest. There's so many things you can customize with a cable that you can't with a dumbbell or machine. So for me, the lying cable raise is the S+++ tier exercise. For me, I prefer it cuffed or with the torque handles that are dropping June 1st. Also the merch, the duffel, everything's dropping June 1st. So make sure you are on that VIP email and text SMS list. The link will be below to the website. Without further ado, the way that we're gonna set these up is setting up a bench. We want the cable height to be about a foot above, 6 to 12 inches above where the bench setup is. So if the bench is here, we want it to be about a foot above the bench. Next thing we're gonna do is set up either our cuffs or our handles. We wanna be neutral grip, drop those shoulders and head back. And then we want the same thing, get those same cues, get wide, slight elbow bend, raise to where you're keeping the shoulders down, then you can come up a little bit. So that's what I'm saying. You don't want to go and keep shrugging up. You come up to here, and then if you want to get a little extra contraction, then you can kind of turn it into that Y format, and that's going to get like just creme de la creme of contraction. Trust me, you have no other stimulus. You're putting your delts on an island because you can't swing like you can with a dumbbell if you're doing a standing raise. And this is SSS plus tier exercise, guys. Trust me, once you try this, you will probably not do another lateral delt exercise ever again, especially with those slight tweaks that I just taught you right now. Okay, and if you don't want to do all that setup and you want to use dumbbells, what I would suggest is a 45-degree setup. What that's going to do is put us in a unique position to target lateral delts without being able to use momentum. So I'm going to sit back on that incline bench. We're going to have dumbbells facing out and hands neutral, and the same thing, slight elbow bend, and we're gonna just lift up without lifting those shoulders to ears. Same cues apply. So literally you can do this with machine work, with dumbbells. So if you can't set the cables up in that way or it seems too arduous, guys, I'm telling you, just dragging a bench over is not a big deal. But if you can in your gym, I understand. Use the dumbbells, use those same cues, getting wide, nice scap retraction, chest open. Use lighter weight than you think you need to. And also, if you want, I love it, you can use the torque handles, wrap them around the dumbbells, and get that same benefit of the cuff with the torque handles in conjunction with the dumbbells. But that is also an amazing setup. Force curve is a little different than cables, but still terrific. I would say still an S tier exercise if you don't want to go through all that setup. Okay, number 3 is taking your rear delts seriously. Everyone wants to talk about heavy shoulder pressing, heavy lateral raises, spamming the whole spamming laterals. But really, rear delts create that crazy 3D look to your shoulder capsule, especially from an aesthetics perspective, like that nice upper back, and you see that really nice rear delt, especially as you lean out. It's such an important muscle group. So I'm going to tell you straight up, if you do your upper back exercises, and I'm talking chest supported row, crossover cable pull, anything that's upper back biased, and you turtle shell the hell out of that back, get a huge stretch over, let's say, a chest supported row. And that's why I created my torque ROM pad that you can use for pressing or pulling, and you can really reach over any machine. That is going to probably give you just enough rear delts you ever need. And I will tell you, please, if you're limited time and you want to get rear delts, and you don't have enough time to do a ton of rear delt work specifically, if you just get that big stretch on your upper back movement, I'm telling you guys, it's going to make a big difference. You'll feel it almost like ripping off the bone in that big stretch. Drag out of the bottom instead of exploding, really drag out through your upper back. And realistically, for me, that is proven to get just about as much rear delt as you'll ever need. Okay, and last but not least, number 4 is optimizing your presses. I don't think you should never do shoulder pressing, but if you do, you should really follow these cues I'm about to teach you. So the biggest thing, if we're gonna do a machine press, dumbbell, cable press, I wanna think really almost tuck that core, keep the elbows in line so everybody gets out here with their shoulder presses, but that's gonna put your shoulder capsule in a little bit of a precarious position. So tuck those elbows here, and then I want to thinking driving the elbows almost forward and through to here, especially if the machine allows it, is going to be a much better press. So that's why I kind of shy away from barbell pressing. But if you can really get a good machine press or dumbbell press right here, getting a big stretch and then pushing through, you're going to get the best front delt engagement. You'll probably have to go a little lighter because you're maximizing range of motion, but what I would stay away from is being way out here and flared out. You have a tendency that could go back this way. You have a lot more risk of a tear and injury. So please press safely. Do not let your ego get the best of you. Focus again on stimulus over weight. Progressive overload can be achieved once the form is perfect, but the form has to be perfect first before you start increasing weight, or else you're just throwing good money after bad in terms of investment. So those are my 4 keys to building absolutely massive delts. I hope you guys loved the video. I hope you guys are enjoying these more educational style sit down videos. If you are, make sure to comment below. Make sure you're signed up for that June 1st pre-sale for all of those products. It means the world to me. The Wedge V1 was such a success, and I think these other products are gonna be just as good, if not better. So please sign up for that. Get your HCLT subs, best in the game. I love you guys, appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.